Hey folks, Iolair here. Well, in contrast to September, where I posted my channel update a couple of days early, my update for October is a couple of days late, so I apologize for that. The replay in the background is an exceptionally close match that I had this past weekend. I had volunteered as one of the, quote, escaped pumpkins as part of the Halloween bounty event that was organized by Wargaming on the North America server. I will commentate on the late stages of this match after I give the channel update, so I do encourage you to stay on for that because this is an incredibly close match. Now, a few things I'll go through as far as channel update. Again, as always, I want to give a shout out to all of the new subscribers that joined the channel this month and extend that thank you to all of my longer time subscribers for your continued support. I have an update on some channel content and streaming, and then I'll offer some shout outs like I usually do to a few World of Warships content creators that I can recommend. So getting to my new subscribers again, thank you very much for joining me in my modest corner of World of Warships content creation. For those of you new to my channel, and I know a lot of you have already heard this, but I try to keep the word going out. My full channel name, which is also my in-game name, is An Iolair Horum, which means the Blue Eagle in Scots Gaelic. I know that's a mouthful, so I just suggest that everybody call me Iolair, which means eagle. So in addition to YouTube, you can find me active on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, Reddit, and I have been trying to stream more regularly on Twitch, and I'll give a little more update on that here shortly. I've left links to all of the platforms where I'm active in the video description. Now, on a broader note, we reached the 1,000 subscriber count a few days into October, so I did a giveaway for that, and I have a video that I'll leave a link to in the description for an update on that. Again, I am going to hold a second giveaway once the channel reaches 1,097 subscribers. Now, at the time that I'm preparing this video, we were 19 subscribers away. Let's see if that's changed. And it looks like, yeah, we're still 19 subscribers away from reaching 1,097. And once we get to that, I will do another giveaway. This will include 2 community contributor containers, 3 camouflage subscriber camouflage packs, as well as 2,500 doubloons. Now, to participate in this giveaway, drop your in-game name and the server that you play on, either in this video that you're watching right now or in the original giveaway video that I posted a couple of weeks ago. I'll leave a link, like I said, to that other video in the description below. It doesn't matter which one you drop your name into. I'll consolidate entrants from both videos into a common pool, and I will only consider each person once. So if you are sneaky and try to drop your name into both, you can do that, but I'm only going to count you once as far as a possible recipient for one of these giveaway items. Now, as far as the 2 containers and the 3 subscriber camo packs, I can issue those to anybody globally. The 2,500 doubloons are coming from me personally. Right now, I can only issue those to folks on the North America and EU servers. At some point in the future, in a future giveaway, I'm hoping that I can set up account so I can give away to the Southeast Asia and Russia servers as well, but I'm not quite there yet. So for this particular giveaway, the 2,500 doubloons, again, I can only extend right now to the North America and EU servers. All right, getting to channel plans. So as I mentioned in my September update, I had picked up a new job, and that has definitely been impacting my content production. I have been producing content almost daily. I'm probably down to 2 or 3 times a week right now. I am trying to figure out a schedule to be able to produce content on a regular basis, so at least you know which days I'm going to put content out, and things have been still kind of fluid here for me personally. That's affected that. Now, I am going to continue to focus on educational and news content, guides, discussions of announcement from Wargaming, etc. I am doing some replays, but really very recently it's been relatively few. A lot of folks have sent me a lot of good replays, and just between the balance of what I can produce and the content that I think the audience wants to see, and trying to stay current with all of the activity going on with wargaming, especially now that I'm a community contributor. The It's hard to sort of produce the replay videos in conjunction with all the other things going on. So just trying to strike a balance there. Now, the next thing is to talk about streaming. So I have attempted to do some more regular streaming in the last 2, 3 weeks. The problem that people have been running into, or at least viewers have been running into, is the quality of the videos. And I've talked about this a couple of times before. It really has come down to, it looks like, basically the horsepower on my machine or on my PC. So I built this PC 4 years ago. It's got good quality components. It had reasonably high-end components for the time. But what I'm finding is playing the game and trying to stream simultaneously on the same PC, I'm basically overloading either the GPU or the CPU or both, depending upon how I handle the encoding, the video encoding for the stream. So what ends up happening is we end up seeing stuttering in the video output. So sometimes it's not too bad, other times it becomes unwatchable, and I don't want you guys to have to suffer through unwatchable streams. So I'm not personally in a position to be able to get enough upgrades into my PC at this point to ensure that I could have a good quality stream. I think I've tweaked the um, parameters on the streaming as best I can, even dialing down the video resolution and so on, and I'm still running into some of the video stuttering issues. So I have to figure out a different solution before I really have a good quality stream. So I will keep looking at this. I know this is sort of the current trend. People have stepped away from sort of YouTube as a common platform, or the most popular platform for content creation or content sharing, and moved to streaming. And I definitely want to get there, and I'll keep the audience posted on where things go with that. All right, so enough ranting about or rambling about streaming. Let me give a few shout outs to folks that I strongly recommend that you go check out. So all of these are streamers. At least one of them is also a regular YouTube content creator as well. So on that note, the first person I recommend that you go check out is P/83. This is a member of the Naval Alliance, which is a group that I'm part of. It's a loose or group of smaller content creators for World of Warships. It was a brainchild of Captain Blackjack Honor, who is also a community contributor here with me in North America. And Peter Slack 83, or P Slack 83, is one of the other members of the Naval Alliance. He has a very good YouTube channel. I'll leave a link below for that. And he also does stream World of Warships regularly. Now, one thing that he's been doing that's really cool on his YouTube channel is he has a new series called Meet the Streamer, where he organizes interviews with popular streamers, and he does well, I think there are probably about 45-minute interviews. These are pretty in depth. They go into how people got into streaming, their setups, their experiences, their learning opportunities, and so on. So I strongly recommend that you go check them out both on YouTube and on Twitter. The next person to recommend that you go check out is Latricia. And Latricia is a streamer out of Germany. Most of her dialogue is in English, so it's completely approachable from an international community perspective. She does inject German now and again, but it's the minority of the cases. She plays World of Warships. She's a really approachable, very warm individual. So a very entertaining person to watch, very engaging. So I strongly recommend that you go check out Latricia. And then last but not least is another World of Warships North America community contributor, and that is Game Prodigy. And he has a very well-established Twitch account, excuse me, quite a few followers on there, and he is also a very entertaining streamer. He has been very welcoming to me and the other new community contributors in the program. So a very, like I said, like Latricia, is a very approachable and watchable streamer here in North America. So those are three folks like I said, I strongly recommend you go check out, follow, or subscribe to their respective channels. All right, so let's go ahead and get to the gameplay of this match. So a little bit of setup. Again, I was playing as an escape pumpkin. This is basically a press account. It has access to all of the ships, and we all have and every ship has a 19-point commander, etc., etc. So it's very resource rich. And so I took one of my old favorites, the obligatorily exploding Nuremberg, which is the Tier 6 German light cruiser, into a Tier 8 double carrier match. I had not intended, obviously, for it to be a double carrier match. I am divisioned with Panoramics, who is in the Japanese destroyer Hatsuharu. My gameplay has been what I've been featuring here, but after farming the opposing flank that had pushed through on the northeast side through Charlie and getting obviously a pretty considerable amount of damage, at some point I just decide, okay, I've done enough for the team. I want to give the opponents a fair shot now to try to sink me and retrieve or get the rewards for sinking me. So again, part of the bounty events with this event, excuse me, is to try to sink the escape pumpkin. And we generally we want the opposing team to have to work for the kill. We don't want to give ourselves up as an easy kill. And so usually during these games, I would decide, okay, at some point I've contributed enough, and I want to give the opposing team a fair shot to try to sink me and not just play too passively or hide too much or whatever. So that's where I'm going to pick up. So at this point, I felt like, okay, I've done a lot of damage for a bottom tier light cruiser that has a reputation of being extremely squishy. And I looked at the current situation. I said, okay, our teams should have a pretty good chance to win. I'm going to let this Gneisenau, I've been farming him pretty hard for the last couple of minutes, and give him a shot at sinking me. So the opponents have moved into Bravo, and I figured, okay, that one opponent that's in Bravo is kind of surrounded. We should be able to take him out. I'm continuing to take some chip damage from this Gneisenau. And I've got panoramics that can keep things spotted. And as long as he stays alive, although that can be a little difficult with double carriers, we should be okay. But what I guess I overestimated the capabilities of some of my team, because once I go down here quite soon, in fact, I just took a big wall up there. Once I do go down, then, yeah, right there. I went back and looked at the situation. Things actually changed quite quickly in the last 30 seconds or so. We now have a ship deficit. We still technically have a point lead, but we are losing Bravo. I was thinking, okay, well, did I give myself up too early? But on the other hand, I'm looking at it and saying, okay, I did 163,000 damage. Oh, one thing, this is actually a bug in the replay system right now, which Wargaming is looking at. In fact, I'm going to switch over to the view of Panoramics and the Hatsuharu now so that we can get his perspective of this, because he plays a key role in how things and how this game ends up finishing. But there's a bug in the replay system right now, which Wargaming is looking at, that it will not show achievements in the top right. So at this point, I had earned Wither and High Caliber. I think I had First Blood as well, but I may be wrong on that. But in any case, I figured that after having earned, done 163,000 damage, getting a couple of kills, or maybe it was just one, I could just kind of be an observer now. So Panoramic's doing a terrific job keeping the flanks lit. And sending torpedoes here. His biggest threat, obviously, really is going to be the carriers, because I think at this point there was no radar that he was going to have to contend with. And he's just trying to deny area, try to sink some of these lower health targets. And uh, his thinking at this point there, we do nicely take down one of the opponents, and we even up the ship count again. Again, it's still anybody's game. Panoramix gets a couple of torpedoes there on the King George, but Panoramix was being very smart and doing a couple of things. Obviously, uh, keeping the flanklet. He is sailing perpendicular, or he's sending torpedoes perpendicular to the general travel of the opponents. He's going to want to push in here a little further so he can keep them in torpedo range. But it also gives him the opportunity that if he needs to back cap, he can do it. Now, he obviously doesn't want to go to the Charlie cap to do the back capping because both of the opposing carriers are up there, and if he were to go into that cap, he would have no support into Charlie specifically to back cap there. He would have no close support, and the opposing carriers would just be able to spot him and finish him off. He has very little health left. So he's doing the right thing here, keeping things lit, so that the few opponents that we do have still up, although now we have a ship deficit, we're just about to lose Bravo. Um, at least we could try to keep the caps reset, but at this point we've now lost the Bravo cap, and he is going to head for Bravo here and want to slip into the cap as early as he can. Now, one strategy can be to wait until the opponents leave the cap, so that they have essentially committed, to leaving the cap, so that he can take it back. There we do take down the King George. In fact, I think there were two on the team. He's got to be careful here because he's just detected one of the carriers send torpedoes out in that direction. But once the Gneisenau that was on the north side of Bravo leaves, he can slip back into the cap, and that's going to be super critical here because the ship counts are even, and the opponents have now gotten a cap advantage. So he sent one set. I thought he was going to send the other set. Don't remember. Yeah, maybe he is. I think he's just trying to determine what the travel of direction is of the carrier, but we lose eyes on him. And I also like what he does here, where he is gotten physically very close to the Gneisenau, but he's used the terrain to mask his approach so that if he were to get detected, the Gneisenau could not fire on him right away. So I think he played that really well. And now he's gotten into the cap, and this is going to be crucial to trying to salvage this game because we've now lost one of our ships, one of our remaining 4 ships, and so things are very, very tight. The point deficit, or the point differential, is only about 80 points in our favor, and the other surviving King George on the opposing team that's north of Alpha is just about to discover our Ryujo. Now, one thing that was actually quite frustrating, and you'll see this in chat, is that we had a full health Nagato up until just a few moments ago, and he keeps sailing away from the opponent where he should really be pushing in. He should have been pushing against the Nagato, challenged the Nagato. Here, Panoramix is just about to get the cap. In fact, he did, and the bombs miss him, and he's able to get the cap. And that is super critical at this point because we need to start getting a point lead here. Because once the carrier goes down, the opponents are going to get more than 100 points. Or close the gap more than 100 points. In fact, Panoramix also has to be careful here not to get sunk, because if he were to go down as well, then the opponents definitely would win. There goes our carrier. Now that leaves the teams neck and neck. In fact, I'm going to stop the video at the moment that time expires. And you can see the point differential is literally 1 point, giving us the win. So by far and away the closest match I had all weekend, and it was a very fun weekend. It's a good way to give back to the community in terms of supporting your fellow players, giving them a chance to win prizes and so on. And you do get some rewards for your main account as well. So I hope everybody had a great weekend and a great Halloween if you observe the holiday. Thanks much for watching, and as always, we hope to see you out there on the virtual seas. And we wish you happy sailing.